Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. I'm here today with another collection update. This time around, we are talking all of the movies and the collectibles that I ended up grabbing in the month of June 2021. So it was another just kind of ridiculous month for me when it comes to collecting, but that's pretty much how all the months go. I did post some other pickup videos throughout last month, so definitely check for those if you want to see everything I grabbed, but this is basically everything else. And so I have 3 collectibles that I'm going to start with, then we'll move over to the DVDs, Blu-rays, and finally the 4K items I grabbed. So in all, we're going to be talking somewhere around 40-ish items here today, so a ton. It's stupid, I know, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. So yeah, I am excited to share with you guys everything I grabbed. And if you're excited for this video too, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out here. But with that said, guys, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my June 2021 movie and collectible haul. Starting off with the collectibles I grabbed. So if you guys watched last month's video, you know that I picked up like 4, I guess it was, Toony Terrors from that line of figures. And I said to myself, I don't want to go nuts on these, but if I find a couple more that I really want, I will grab them. Well, I ended up grabbing 3 more this month, and one of them is one I talked about, so I'm super happy that I have that one in my collection now. The other 2 were just there, and I love the movie, so I figured pick them up. They're so hard to find, I feel like, at least in my area. I rarely see them. So whenever I see a Toony Terror figure, I've been picking it up. So I have 3 new ones to talk about this month. And unfortunately, the boxes on these are not in the best shape, but like I said last month, I do plan on opening them up. I haven't. They're still sitting right over here in their box at this point, but I am going to open them up. So I'm not too terribly concerned. They're not destroyed. But the first one I have here is Pennywise. So of course, the clown from It. And this looks like the newer version of It, the remake, as opposed to the Tim Curry Pennywise. But the back here doesn't really have anything on it, just like the other ones. But I think this is a cool figure. You have the red balloon here, which is cool. The sailboat, so that's fun too. Just an awesome looking figure. So I had to grab Pennywise. And then the next one I found is probably, I don't know, the box isn't terrible, but like, you can see it's kind of shoved in there a little bit. This is Regan, of course, from The Exorcist, as you can see the title there. And this one is really cool also, like the green pea soup vomit. You gotta love that. Multiple heads on this one, which is awesome. So yeah, this is just a really cool one. The background on this one is actually pretty creepy, from, one of the infamous deleted scenes, or one of the scenes from the director's cut of this film. So that's really cool. So I had to grab it. I wasn't planning to pick up this one or Pennywise really, but they were there. I just decided to do it. Why not? They're cheap enough, so I figured I'd grab them. This one's awesome. The only problem with that, like I said, it's kind of, you can see curved there a little bit, so I don't know why it's like that. The edge here is a little messed up. It's not perfect, but again, I'm not too terribly concerned. So then the last one is the one I was really looking for, and I thought for sure I wasn't going to find it because I'd been to all my Targets in the area, the Walmarts where they normally sell these. I was finding nothing, but I walked into, I guess I found this one at Best Buy, where I found a couple of my figures last month. This is Sam from Trick or Treat. So this was the one I really wanted. This one and My Bloody Valentine is coming out later this year. I will definitely be picking that one up, but the rest, I don't really know if there's any others I'm going to be grabbing or not. It's just whatever's available, whatever I see. If I like it, I'll pick it up. But here is the back on that one. That one's actually a pretty good one as well. But yeah, so you have Sam with his kind of like his normal head that's under the mask here, and then of course his lollipop with the bite out of it, just classic. And the sack down here too, which is really cool. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, this is just a really cool figure. Trick or Treat is one of my favorite Halloween movies. I watch it virtually every Halloween if I can. It's so great. And so I had to grab this one. I have like as much Trick or Treat things as I can have. I have the movie, I have the soundtrack on vinyl, I have this. I'm going to pick up the pop figure. They just announced a Sam pop figure for later this year. Definitely grabbing that one when it comes out. But yeah, so I love this movie. So Sam along with Regan, and then grab it real quick here, Pennywise. So 3 more figures for my Toony Terror collection, which is now, 7 strong. So who knows how many I'll continue getting, but I got these ones for now. So I think these are pretty cool ads. Okay, so let's move over to the DVDs I picked up, and I say this at like the start of so many videos, but I'm going to try to go through these as quickly as I possibly can because there are so many. But the first one I want to talk about here, there's actually a review up on the channel for this. This is Saltwater, The Battle for Ramree Island, and this is one of those like random $10 Walmart finds, and it's not a good movie, unfortunately. Check out my full review on this if you're interested, but it just sounded like something that I would love. It says right here, inspired by a true story or whatever it is, inspired by actual events, and then Jaws meets Dog Soldiers, which I love both of those. So I was hoping I would like this one. I didn't. It's just not good. So again, check out my full review if you want my full thoughts on Saltwater. Next up is one that I saw previously and I didn't pick it up, but I was thinking about it, so I went back and grabbed it. This is Hugh Jackman in The Frontrunner. So this is a political drama. It is based on a true story of, what's his name? Gary Hart, politician Gary Hart, who was considered to be like the overwhelming favorite in the 1988 Democratic race, presidential nomination race. And so this is the story of him. There is an extramarital affair that kind of brings him down when things like that used to matter. So yeah, this is should be a good one, and it has Hugh Jackman, who's fantastic. So very intrigued to check out The Frontrunner. Next up is a true crime documentary, so you know I was interested in it, and it's actually directed by Joe Berlinger, who did the Paradise Lost trilogy, which is some of the finest documentaries you can watch if you like true crime documentaries. It's about this, like the West Memphis Three. They are wrongfully accused of murdering 3 young boys, and there is a trilogy of documentaries following the different stages in their lives and their trials and everything. So it is fascinating. I watched them all like back to back at one point in like consecutive days. It was amazing. So anyway, love those documentaries. So I'm sure this one's going to be great. Also, this is called Whitey, United States of America versus James J. Bulger. Of course, Whitey was a pretty well-known gangster. So this is kind of the story of him. So very intrigued to check this one out. You can see down here, Twitch says that it may just be one of the best true crime documentaries. So you know I have to check it out because I'm a huge true crime buff. So yeah, definitely intrigued to check out Whitey, the United States of America versus James J. Bulger. The last DVD I grabbed from Big Lots is called Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. So that's difficult to say. But this is basically this woman, our main character here, escapes a cult from when she was younger, and then it messes with her head, and it becomes like a psychological drama, I'm guessing. But the reason I'm interested in this is because the main character is actually played by the wonderful Elizabeth Olsen. And this is actually her film debut, according to the back of the box here. So I am super intrigued to check this one out. Elizabeth Olsen is just a fantastic actress, so I'm sure this one's going to be pretty darn good. It also has John Hawkes in it too, who's great. So yeah, this one should be really, really intriguing. So definitely excited to check out Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. Nailed it. Okay, so now we have some from Disc Replay that I bought used, and all of the DVDs at Disc Replay are always buy 3, get 3 free, so I always buy them 6 at a time. But the first one here is a sequel to a movie that, frankly, I don't love it. I didn't love it at least the first time I saw it, and I haven't seen it since. But this is Gingersnaps 2 Unleashed, and it says, "The curse is back." That's the tagline there. So yeah, this one is the sequel, of course, to Gingersnaps, which is, I would say, like a cult favorite at this point. It does have a Scream Factory release, a collector's edition from Scream Factory. So yeah, I need to watch that one again, and then I want to check this one out. So yeah, this is one I saw one day, and then I couldn't find 5 other ones because I had to go quickly. So I like put it back, and I was hoping no one would buy it. I went back later on in the week, and it was still there, so I was very happy. So Gingersnaps 2 Unleashed, the first one from Disc Replay. Next up is one that I've been meaning to watch for a very long time. It's from Joel Schumacher, who I really like the number 23. I know it's not a perfect movie, but I think it's pretty good with Jim Carrey, directed by Joel Schumacher. It always gets kind of laughed at for kind of obvious reasons, but I still enjoy it. So I'm hoping this one will be better. This is with Nicolas Cage. This is 8mm. Not only Nick Cage, but there's also Joaquin Phoenix and Catherine Keener in this. So I'm hoping this one will be pretty fun. And I think 8mm is referring to like 8mm film. So I don't know exactly what it's about, but I know 8mm film plays a part in this, so that was interesting. But this is just an action thriller, kind of like a psychological thriller, I guess. So sounds awesome. Look at Nick Cage being Nick Cage on the back. I mean, what's not to love? That's awesome. So yeah, very excited to check out 8mm from Joel Schumacher. One of my favorite directors is M. Night Shyamalan, and I don't own all of his films yet in my filmography or my collection here, and so I'm trying to remedy that. One of the ones I needed was Lady in the Water, starring Paul Giamatti, Bryce Dallas Howard. So this one is kind of, I don't know, I feel like this is where the downturn of M. Night Shyamalan began. For me, it was kind of with The Village, because I didn't really like The Village that much, but I love Signs so much. It's probably one of my top, like, I don't know. I always hesitate to say, but it's probably in my top 5. Like, it is one of my favorite films of all time. I love Sixth Sense, of course. I really liked Unbreakable. I don't know. I like his movies, but I have not seen them all yet. So I'm trying to fix that. And I didn't have Lady in the Water, so I wanted to pick it up. But this one doesn't get a lot of love. It's more of a fantasy than a horror film, from what I understand. But I'm hoping I will enjoy it because I love M. Night Shyamalan's work. So very excited to check this one out. And I really want to see his new one because it looks super creepy and awesome. So yeah, M. Night Shyamalan's excellent, and I need to get through the rest of his films. So the next one up here is M. Night Shyamalan's Lady in the Water. This is one that I actually it was a mistake. Like, I thought I owned the novelization to this, but I was looking upstairs and I don't see it. I just may have missed it. But I thought I owned the novelization to Inside Out. So this stars Triple H. What's his name? Michael Rappaport is in this as well. Parker Posey, who I absolutely love. I fell in love with Parker Posey with her work in Best in Show. Then she was in like Scream 3. She is just hilarious. So I really like Parker Posey. And it's a WWE Studios film here. There it is up there. WWE Studios. So I kind of in the back of my head have this idea that I want to collect all of the WWE Studios films. I don't know why. I'm just weird. But obviously I'm a huge wrestling fan, or no, not so huge anymore, but I was always a big wrestling fan. So it's kind of nostalgic. So I kind of want to get all of them. And this is a step in that direction at least. So yeah, the one I actually own, the novelization I did find, which is another WWE Studios film, is called The Reunion. But that one has John Cena in the lead role. I was mixing it up, I think. But either way, hopefully this one will be pretty interesting. It's just an action movie with Triple H as the kind of action hero. So who knows? Maybe it'll be decent. We'll check it out eventually. So, Inside Out from WWE Studios. Here is one that is right up my alley, and it has an awesome cast. Shailene Woodley is the star of this, along with Sam Claflin. This is called Adrift, and it does have a slipcover, which is always cool. So this couple goes out on their boat, and it's based on the true story, and they end up getting trapped out there. And so it's a survival story, which I love. So I'm really excited to check this one out. It should be a heck of a lot of fun with that awesome cast. So yeah, Adrift, one for my survival collection. And the last one from Disc Replay, part of my buy 3 get 3 free. This one is actually a television series, so it shouldn't have actually been part of the buy 3 get 3, but they included it as a movie as opposed to a TV series, so I lucked out. But genuinely, the only reason I got this is because it stars Matthew Fox from Lost, which we are watching right now again for the umpteenth time. But this is called Haunted, the complete series here on DVD. So this is 11 episodes, as you can see, and it's spread out across 2 different discs. So this one, basically, our main character, Matthew Fox, his family dies tragically, and then he kind of starts seeing things, I guess. And so it's going to take off from there. I think he's actually a cop, if I remember from reading right on the back here. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah, Seattle Police Force. So I don't know. It's probably going to be terrible, but I think I looked it up on IMDb and it had like a 7.8 or something. So some people liked it. Hopefully I'll be one of them. I really like Matthew Fox just because I love Lost. So yeah, interested to see how this one is. Haunted with Matthew Fox, the complete series. And that's the last one I grabbed for the buy 3 get 3 from Disc Replay. These movies are actually not at all related, but I'm going to show them together because in my head now, they're like connected. I bought both of these used off of eBay and they're both in snapper cases. So that's always fun. The first one here is Joe's Apartment, the very first film from the MTV Studios or MTV Films, whatever it's called. I remember watching this one on VHS and really liking it, but it's not available on Blu-ray. So this is the best way to get it, or like the best format to get it in. So I grabbed this one off of eBay. eBay. Then another one, I've been watching through, like, as I said, I'm a wrestling fan. I've been watching through WCW in 2001, the last year of its existence. And so, or WCW in 2000. It ended in 2001. But anyway, they were advertising Ready to Rumble. So another VHS tape that I used to watch over and over and over again, being a young wrestling fan at the time during the Attitude Era. And so, yeah, this one is super nostalgic for me. So I had to pick it up. It was a little bit more expensive on, Best Buy. It was a place I found it. And so I ended up finding it on eBay for much cheaper. So I was able to get both of these in my collection, and I am so excited about this because I really enjoy both these movies. Very nostalgic for me for both of these. So they will forever be linked together now, simply because I bought them around the same time, both from eBay, and they're both in snapper cases, which is just fun. So Joe's Apartment, the first MTV film, and then Ready to Rumble with David Arquette, who the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, David Arquette, I might add. So very excited to add both of these. I know I need to hurry up here because there's so many more to go through. So this next stack here, 3 of these DVDs, and then looks like 4 Blu-rays were all from a trade. So I won't mention any names, but I will say thank you. You know who you are if you're watching. I was very happy to do the trade, and it worked out perfectly. So thanks so much for doing that. But the first set of films here, how many people can say they have this complete collection in their physical media collection? I'm guessing not too many. We have a quadrilogy of Robert the Doll movies. So this first one here is a double feature. It has Robert the Doll, and then The Curse of Robert, which is the second movie. And then we have Robert and the Toy Maker, which is the third movie in the franchise, which does have a slipcover, so that's fun. And then, where is it? Yep. Last but not least, The Revenge of Robert, which is the fourth movie. So there technically is a fifth Robert movie, but the director lists it as a reboot of the franchise, not a sequel. So I have it in my Amazon cart. I will be buying it at some point just so I have all of them, but technically it's not part of this series. It is a reboot. So I don't know. I have the full Robert collection, which is ridiculous. And I've seen Robert the Doll. Why did I wait? I've watched this movie twice. It is not a good movie. It's supposed to be this creepy doll movie. It ends up being this silly drama, this marital drama, and it's just not good. But I'm a sucker. What can I say? I need to see the rest of these. So I'm going to check them out at some point here. I'll probably do a series review on this just to let you guys know how terrible they are. But 1, 2, 3, 4 movies from the Robert the Doll collection. I don't know why, it just happened. So thank you again for making this trade. I'm very happy to have these, believe it or not. So this was the first half of the trade. So now let's move over to the Blu-rays, and I'll show you the second half of this trade. The first one here I'm going to show for completionist's sake. He actually included this as a bonus movie, which was super nice of him. I really appreciate it. But this is The Reef. So I actually ended up finding this one at at Dollar Tree rather recently. And so this is a duplicate. So this is one that I can give away or sell, whatever the case is. So that was an extra. But again, thank you. I do appreciate it. And then the 3 I asked for, we have the Emoji Movie. This, of course, or 2 of these, I guess, are from the Dollar Tree. One of them is not. But this is from Dollar Tree, so it's quality stuff here. But I've watched part of this honestly before, and I didn't hate it. I thought it is goofy and dumb, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's its target audience. So the Emoji Movie on Blu-ray, and then this one I am super excited about. This is a home invasion film. This is called Tiger House, and it stars an excellent actress whose name I'm going to butcher here, but it's Kea Scodelario. She was from Maze Runner series, and I think she was the main actress in Crawl as well. She is fantastic. So I am super excited to check this one out. I love home invasion films, and she's a wonderful actress. So I'm sure this is going to be fantastic. I was so excited when he had this one. So that's the other one. And then last but not least, this one is not from Disc Replay. This is just one he was looking to get rid of for whatever reason. It's actually an Arrow Video title, so I was very excited he traded this for me. This is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage from Dario Argento. So I didn't own this one in my collection. He had a couple that he was willing to get rid of, but this is the one I was most interested in seeing because I've heard so many good things about it. Honestly, I thought I had it on my Blue Underground Argento collection. It's not on there, so I had to pick it up, and you can see all of the special features listed on the back here, a 4K transfer, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is a really generous trade. I was so fortunate that he decided to do this. So yeah, just let me hold them all up here so you can see everything this is really cool for trading. I ended up giving him some duplicates that I had. I'd upgraded things either to like, I think it was like the Omen collection that I upgraded to the Scream Factory edition, the Dark Knight Rises, which I now own on 4K, and then, I don't know, a couple other things that he wanted as well. So he was very generous, and I think it worked out for both of us. So yeah, always cool to trade. So thank you again for that trade. I really do appreciate it. Continuing on with the Blu-rays, these next 4 were all from Dollar General, which admittedly, I almost always strike out when I go to Dollar General, but my wife and I happen to be, I don't know, it was some other city. I don't know exactly where we were. It wasn't at my local one. And I decided, let's see what they got. And so I went in, and turns out they had quite a few. So I grabbed some random things here for like, whatever, $4 or $5, I guess. This is Magic Mike XXL. So the sequel to Magic Mike. I do own the original. I've still yet to see it. And so I needed to get the sequel to complete that collection, which I did for very cheap. So I'm happy about that. Not seen this one yet. Channing Tatum's excellent, so I'm sure it's probably going to be pretty fun. But obviously I'm not exactly the target audience for this, but that's totally fine. Magic Mike XXL to complete my Magic Mike collection. This is a movie I always kind of like poo-pooed away. I never really cared to see it, but I heard some people talking about it recently, and it actually sounds like it might be interesting. This is Project X. So this is actually from the producer. Oh, it's from Todd Phillips, who did The Hangover. So that's interesting. But yeah, so this is just a like high school comedy film. It's probably going to be exactly what you think it is. And I believe this is actually a found footage film. So I love me some found footage. So I'm really excited to see what this one's all about. So Project X from Todd Phillips. This was completely random again, but it just looked really cool. This is The Siege. So the premise here sounds awesome. Basically a city bus blows up in Brooklyn, and then this like campaign of terror begins. And so there is this siege, and it stars Denzel Washington is in there. Bruce Willis is in there as well. So yeah, it's going to be probably a pretty darn good movie. So this is one that I know people have probably seen this one because it's a pretty popular movie, but it's one I've never seen, and frankly I really knew nothing about until I picked it up and read the back of it, and it sounded pretty cool. So gonna check this one out really soon. The Siege. And last but not least from Dollar General is The Beguiled. So this is one that, like, if you look at the cover, not at all what I'm normally picking up, right? But I actually have heard that this is kind of like a dark thriller, dark horror almost, but set in a, specific time period. But it has a great cast. Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst is in this. So yeah, I'm hoping this one will be pretty good. And actually, is this? Yeah, I didn't even realize it's a Sofia Coppola film. So that's really cool. I need to add more of her in my collection. I need to watch some of her movies because I don't think I've watched any yet. I haven't even seen Lost in Translation. So I need to check some of her work out. So this is a really good way to do that now. So The Beguiled, kind of a strange movie for my collection at first, but when you look into it more, it actually kind of fits the things I like. So excited to check this one out. This was a random new release double feature from Mill Creek that I heard about thanks to Ken over at Mid-Level Media. He posted his video about it. This is Miami Vice and The Kingdom. So it is a Jamie Foxx double feature. Turns out I didn't own either of these in my collection. So I was very happy to pick this one up. It was really cheap. So if you're interested in either of these movies, definitely check this out. It's on Amazon. You'll find it at Best Buy or Target, I think is where I got mine. So check it out. Two movies that I've not seen, but I don't know. I think they're going to be worth it for the price I paid. So yeah, happy to have both of these on Blu-ray from Mill Creek Entertainment. This next one is actually an upgrade for me. I do own the DVD, so now I can get rid of that. But this is the remake, and it is a brutal, just brutal, bloody movie. This is The Last House on the Left from 2009. And this is one that has stuck with me since I saw it. Whatever that would be, 12 years ago or whatever it is. Like, I seen it a long time ago and it's still that powerful. Like, this was a messed up film. As crazy and gritty and dark as the original is, I feel like this one has stuck with me more. I know that might be controversial because I do love the original, but this one is just so messed up. So definitely not for the weak-hearted, but if you do enjoy these types of films, or enjoy might not be the right word, but if you like these types of films, this is an excellent one. So The Last House on the Left from 2009. This next one was actually a kind of holdover from the Prime Day deals. It just didn't arrive in time when I filmed that video, but this is George A. Romero's Knight Riders. So this is another director who I want to have all of his films in my collection, and I am working my way there, and Knight Riders was just one I needed. This is from Shout Factory, as you can see down there. This was, I don't know really much about this one. I think it's like a comedy set in like medieval times, so I don't know. We'll see. And maybe it's not. I frankly don't know, but I'm intrigued to check it out because it is George A. Romero, who is one of my faves. So yeah, very excited to have Knight Riders in the collection. This next one was probably my biggest pickup from the month of June, and I think I ordered this one back in May, but it took quite a while to get here. This is Irreversible, and this marks the very first title I have in my collection from Indicator. So I'm finally on the Indicator train. I know a lot of people have been talking about them, and so I had to pick up one, and this is the one I've heard so many great things about, so I've been wanting to see it for, I don't know, 10 plus years now. And so I had to check it out. So this one I'm actually going to do a complete unboxing and a review on. So look for that video here in the coming weeks. So that's where I'll talk about it more. But my first Indicator title, Irreversible. Oh, and I should also mention, I grabbed this one from Diabolic DVD because this is a Region B release here. So keep that in mind. This, I believe this will not play on your standard player. You do have to have a region-free player, which fortunately I do. So this will work for me, but just something to keep in mind. Here are a couple more from eBay, and I now have the complete series, which is cool. This is Unfriended and Unfriended Dark Web. So I actually found both of these from like different Goodwill stores on eBay, which is cool. So these were pretty cheap. That was awesome. But this is a series where I've seen the first one and I really like this movie. It is very similar to Friend Request. Friend Request I did a full review of here on the channel. That movie was made because Unfriended did so well. And then Unfriended Dark Web is the sequel that I have yet to see. At least I don't think I've seen it. I may have seen like bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I ever sat down and watched it from beginning to end. So excited to check that one out. I love like found footage films, and so this is similar. Something like Host, which was from Shudder. That movie is amazing. It's the same idea. So if you like those types of films, check these out because at least the first one is really done well. So I really enjoyed it. So Unfriended and Unfriended Dark Web, 2 more eBay pickups. These next few here are all from Disc Replay, so I got these ones used, which is the best way to go. So the first one here is Mutant Chronicles. So I actually saw that this was available at some people's Big Lots, but I was not able to find it, and I really wanted it because I recently found the novelization, and so I was fortunate enough to find it used at Disc Replay, so I picked it up. But this has a great cast. Thomas Jane, Ron Perlman, and John Malkovich on the cover there. So yeah, it's the year 2707, and yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic type film. So yeah, very intriguing, or dystopian, I think might be the more accurate term. So yeah, very excited that I was able to find this one because it was pretty difficult to find in my area. So Mutant Chronicles on Blu-ray. Next up is a movie that I saw in theaters, and I really enjoyed this one. I don't know why, but I've been wanting it for quite a while now. This is Mr. Brooks. So this stars Kevin Costner, Demi Moore, and Dane Cook is in this one as well, the comedian. So I know not a lot of people really like this movie, but I had a great time with it when I saw it in theaters, so I really have been wanting to revisit it. I don't know why. It's just one of those movies that I think about every so often. Who knows why, but I do, and so I wanted to give it another watch here. So I was able to find it for a great price at Disc Replay, so I ended up grabbing it. So Mr. Brooks, a kind of unexpected serial killer film, but done really well. The last 3 I grabbed from Disc Replay is just kind of me being me, I guess. So I grabbed Escape Plan, Escape Plan 2, what's the subtitle here? Hades, and Escape Plan, which is the third one, The Extractors. So why did I grab the Escape Plan trilogy? This is the complete collection, and that's the reason I bought it, because I'm a sucker for having a complete collection. So I wanted to try these, and they look like a lot of fun. The first one has Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and then the second one has Dave Bautista, who I think is a fantastic actor, which surprises me, along with Stallone. And then the third one with Stallone again, but it has Bautista, and then Curtis Jackson is in the third one as well. I think that's Rampage, right? Like Rampage Jackson, is that the same guy? I think so. But yeah, so I don't know. This is Probably a silly action, trilogy, but I'm here for that. I'm totally down with it. So excited to watch this one. And this is another one I really want to do a series review on here pretty soon. So look for that in the coming months. But Escape Plan 1, 2, and 3. The second and third one did have the slip covers, so that's cool. I don't even know if this one released with a slip or not. I don't remember. But yeah, so excited to add the Escape Plan trilogy to the collection. The next two I grabbed from FYE, and they were like a buy one, get one half off. So they were both used. But this one is from Leica Animation Studio. This is Missing Link. And this is one that I've been wanting. I'm trying to get all of the Leica films. You can see down here, Leica. I'm trying to get all of those after watching a video from Andrew from the movie Beth Pains. He talked about them. And so I want to get all of them in my collection. So whenever I find them cheap, I grab them. And so I grabbed it. But this is supposed to be used, but I looked at it. Not only does it have the slipcover, this guy isn't even open. Like, there was plastic around this, and then I opened it, and this is a brand new factory sealed copy. So I paid a used price for a brand new movie, which is awesome. So Missing Link. So that is the last Blu-ray I grabbed. The other half of this buy one get one is on 4K. So let's jump over to the 4K discs I picked up. Like I said, the other half of that buy one, get one is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. So this is one that has been on my 4K wish list for quite a while now because I own the first two on Blu-ray, which I will definitely upgrade at some point because I imagine they're going to look spectacular in 4K. But I wanted to grab this one on 4K, and they had it for really cheap at FYE, so I had to pick it up. Another one comes with the slipcover, which is a really nice slip. It's actually embossed and everything, so that's cool. This one actually is used, but everything is in great shape, so no problem there. But yeah, so very excited to watch this one. This is the only one I haven't seen in the franchise. The first two are just some of my favorite animated movies, to be honest with you. I love them. So excited to check out How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World on 4K. This is one that actually went on sale just a couple days ago, and it arrived here earlier today, so I was able to fit it in this video. This is landing on people's like best of 4K lists for the year so far, so I wanted to grab it. It went down in price on Amazon, so I snagged it. This is Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich. And this one is actually directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. So another meeting between Jovovich and Anderson. They did Resident Evil together. I'm sure they did some other things as well, but that's what I know them for. So this one I've heard that it's kind of just dumb, but fun. And that's what I'm looking for. And the 4K disc, like I said, it's supposed to be really great. It's showing up on a ton of best of lists. So very excited for this one. I'm very intrigued to see how the 4K disc looks. And I wanted this one since day one it released, but I was not willing to pay like the $30 that it was when it came out. So I waited. It eventually dropped down to $25. I figured, hey, it's going to keep going down. You're not going to watch it today. Just hold off. Fortunately, I held off long enough that it dropped down about to 15, I think is what I paid for it. So a very good price for this one on 4K. So Monster Hunter from Paul W.S. Anderson. Next up is the only steelbook I grabbed this month, and I picked this one up thanks to Rob over at the Movie Vault. He did like a 5-movie marathon of Kurt Russell movies, and one of those movies was Backdraft, and he talked about how great it was, and he mentioned in there that the 4K steelbook was coming out soon, and so that's when I ended up getting it, or pre-ordering it. This is Backdraft on 4K steelbook. So I have not opened it up yet, so you can't see the back, unfortunately, but this one is a firefighter movie with Kurt Russell. I think I mentioned in one of my other videos that I've had a number of firefighter films that added to my collection this month, and I think it was all because of this one. I added this one, and so other ones just struck my fancy as I was looking around at like Dollar Tree and whatnot. So yeah, heard great things, have not seen this one yet, and it's actually pretty darn long. I think it's like almost 3 hours, or no, 2 hours and 17 minutes. So not as long as I thought it was, but yeah, very excited to check out Backdraft. Okay, so we're down to the final two, and both of these are actually 4K collections that I am so happy that I was able to add to my collection this past month. But the first one here is still new, still wrapped. This is Predator 4 movie collection on 4K. So this will have all the movies in the Predator franchise, Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and then The Predator. I actually really like all 4 of these movies, which I know a lot of people really dislike The Predator, but I had a great time with it. I watched it with my brother-in-law one day randomly, and we really enjoyed it. It's a really fun film. So I am so excited to add these to the collection. I heard that Predator, the original, looks really great in 4K, and I love that movie. It's such a fantastic 80s action flick. It's, exactly what you want it to be. It does so well. But Predator 4 movie collection, one of 2 film collections that I added this month on 4K. And last but not least, probably the find of the month. This one I actually found used at Disc Replay. I go there very often, and so whenever there's something new in the 4K section, I'm always surprised, and this one just popped up one day randomly, but The Hobbit Motion Picture Trilogy on 4K. This one was about half the price that this normally has been or was on the Prime Day deals. And so I paid a very good price for this. I was so lucky to find this. And everything looks great. Obviously, the only thing that's not included is the digital codes, but I don't really use those all that much anyway. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends. But I don't care. I buy a ton of used, so I'm used to not getting the digis. But yeah, this is a fantastic collection to get for the price I paid. Let me open it up here. You guys can see on the inside. So all of, they have the theatrical and the extended editions that I will see for the first time because I've actually not watched any of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. And so both of these series are ones I need to correct. Now, I do really want to watch Lord of the Rings before I watch The Hobbit just because they were released before The Hobbit. That said, I have read The Hobbit, so I could technically watch this one, but I want to do it in the right order. So I have both the theatrical and the extended editions of Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray, so I will watch them soon. But yeah, I couldn't pass up this price. I know I still need the other in this set, but for the price, I needed to add it. So I am really happy to add the Hobbit Motion Picture Trilogy on 4K to my collection. And that is going to be the last movie I picked up last month. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. Normally, I hold them all up, but I actually just noticed that you can actually see them there. I moved things around a little bit ago, so my setup is not perfect. I apologize. I didn't realize those were even in frame. But anyway, at least you can have a refresher on what I just showed. But thank you guys for sticking with me if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments below, what did you end up grabbing last month? Anything cool? Anything worth talking about? Let me know down in those comments below. I love having that conversation with you guys down there. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and maybe consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. I really appreciate all of your support, whether it's a like, if you hit that subscribe button, whatever the case is, I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies or collectibles, I talk all things media, be it movies, collectibles, books, manga, graphic novels. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.